Previously on Something Happened in Our Town, from page to stage.
We have to put this on stage and we have to do it right away. Is it to play about a friendship? It's a play about families. It's a play about community. It's a play about where we are and how we move forward.
How can we speak to our children about race that doesn't frighten them, but enlightens them?
Well, I'm really interested in seeing our characters come to life.
Come and see the play.
A WCCO original in partnership with Children's Theatre Company. This is Something Happened in Our Town, from page to stage. Episode 2, The Shops.
So here in the Scene Shop, we create the world in which the play exists. And at Children's Theatre Company, that world could be anything from a dining room to Whoville and having the Grinch on stage. The scenic designer is Georgia Lee, and she makes a model. So every scenic designer will make a model for the show, and that shows us what we're supposed to build. It's a scaled down version of what we'll see on stage. And this is Georgia's model here. And you can see we have the 2 houses for the 2 families.
As a scenic designer, I get to be a part of this storytelling because the scenic design has to set the world of the play.
I rarely know what it's supposed to look like. I want to collaborate. I want designers designing strongly from their own discipline.
I think specifically with this show, what's really cool is that our scenic designer, Georgia, has created these distinct houses for the Hartleys and the Perkins. So what I've done is, taking her colors, I've created palettes for each of these families that is harmonious within the houses.
I consider myself another character in any story. So there are the actors, there's the script, the lighting is a character, the costumes are a character, and absolutely the music and the soundscape is a character. So I'm here to help tell that story.
Very important thing is that we have to have the lighting designs and sound design that has to work with all the movement.
So the cool thing is to have something over here, from over here, there, and then you get to see it all come together on stage. There's such a life to that.
We're in the Scene Shop at the Children's Theatre Company, and this is where we take model pieces of the show. And so here you can see a small wall, and then you can see behind us, this is the size that it actually will be on stage. We've built this piece and put it up on our paint frame so that Mary Novodvorsky and her crew can paint it. Our paint frame is a really special piece. It's like a big wall that we can move up and down. So we can attach things on here and run it up and down so the painters can reach it. So we've got a catwalk down here that the painters can stand on, and then we can bring the scenery to meet them. And this is great because we can take the wallpaper motif that's on our tiny little model piece, we can project it onto the actual scenic piece. Mary and her team can draw it and then paint it in. And that's a lot of what they do. They take really tiny things and then they very exactly enlarge them into a really big scale. We draft everything that the carpenters build using a program called AutoCAD. So we create everything digitally in the computer before anything comes down here and hits the shop floor. We'll plan out a shop build will be anywhere from, I would say, 3 to 6 or 7 weeks long. You can see Steve is one of our carpenters. He's laying out one of the wagons that will be for the houses. Is this the big one or the little one?
This is the larger, stage left.
Larger. So this is stage left, thank you. This will be the Perkins home, the blue house that you saw up on the paint frame. This is the wagon that'll be on the ground. I call our staff carpenters, but really, they're amazing artisans that work in all sorts of different medium. They use welders and saws, drills, pneumatic tools, you name it. The scenic designer also gives information to the props department. So we have a whole other department here who deals with things like furniture and lighting fixtures, tables, chairs, dishes, anything an actor touches with their hands. It really starts with this, and this is how we know what color it is, the shape and size of it on stage, and the model's also a really great tool for them in rehearsal. The director can bring this upstairs and show it to the actors so that the actors can start to get a sense of what is their world in a small but three-dimensional version before they have to come on stage.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so the costume shop is awesome, first off. they are fantastic. Yeah. They're fantastic artisans and storytellers.
Everyone's costumes are so cool, and I can't wait to see that for everyone else.
You know, once I have the script, I really take my time and I just read what's on the page several times. And what I'm really trying to understand is sort of like, what space are we in? When are we? What's the season? What's sort of the culture that we're in, or cultures that we're in.
Calvin's wardrobe is just super, super dope, as these kids would say. It is so dope.
I'm wearing these like Adidas that have like 3 hearts as like lips of the shoe. And it's like these 3 hearts on the lip are like your 3 guys, like your husband and your 2 sons.
So Randy, our craftsperson here at Children's Theater Company, he actually went in and painted each of these kind of graduated tongues to represent the family.
You might think that something this small doesn't mean anything, but the audience can sense that. And the audience will see these colors reflected in the family. And they won't sit there and think, oh, that's what they've done. But they'll take that in almost by osmosis. And it makes the world richer and complete.
I think all of these departments, you know, costumes, scenic, light, properties, they all are kind of each have their own color and texture. How working with my colleagues in those departments, I think is really important to create like a harmonious composition.
Well, you know, I'm a composer, so I write music. My purpose and my goal in any production is to help tell the story. Like this.
Wow.
You know, and now it's already coming down. This program is called QLab, and it's a standard in theater. It's a playback software that most theaters have. And so I just load stuff up in there. I'm able to play, I'm able to edit, and really shape the cues, how they work, how they fade in, how they fade out. And in this play, the localization is actually quite important because we've got 2 houses next door to each other, 2 different families. We have a black family and a white family. And so we'll go to this side, we'll go to that side. So I'm actually needing to do that with my sound so that it draws the focus. You know, the same way the lights, you know, will come up here and they'll go down here, and that makes the audience look there. I want to do the same thing with the sound.
So we came in yesterday was our first day, and we struck everything from Annie, which was our previous show in here, and then hung all the lights over stage for Something Happened, our current show. We tried to get everything done over stage our first day. We usually have 1 day to do this because the schedule is so tight that scenery comes right behind us and starts setting up the next show. And there's a whole crew upstairs in the catwalk, but they are busy hanging. We have multiple catwalk positions, which are permanent positions in the theater, which we can use to hang lights and speakers off of, depending on what the needs are for the show. We have 60-something battens in the air that we are able to, gives us a great flexibility on where to put things based on where the scenery is placed. And we work with the scenic department on how and where to put everything. We have to come in first before anything else. If you notice, the stage is pretty empty right now. We come in first and get all our stuff hung over stage so that we can be out of everybody's way. Because once the scenery is up, it tends to be hard to move everything. So we'll get everything up, get it flown up out of everybody's way. The scenery will come in starting next week and laying out the floor and building the sets, laying out the wagons, all the things that need to happen with that. Then we come back, finish up some things. Sometimes things change a lot. There are some things that we can't do until the scenery's up. We'll come back in after scenery's done, do that. Then we come in and we focus. It takes about 2 days to focus. Everything is in position, and then we have to use our genie lifts or ladders or in the catwalks, go up to each light, place it where the designer needs to place it, make sure the color is right, make sure the positioning is right. There's a lot of changes that have to happen. All of our work tends to happen in the 2 weeks around just before opening. Lighting is used to sculpt and help tell the story of the show. If the story is indoors, if it's daytime, nighttime, it helps with the passage of time. It helps draw your attention to one side of the stage or the other while other things are happening. It's an integral tool because if there's no light, you can't see anything.
Next time on Something Happened in Our Town, from page to stage.
In a rehearsal, anything can happen. We're sort of like Batman detectives. What are the clues?
We just trust the text. We've exhausted that subject, Malcolm.
When actors are being effective in their work, our systems, our emotional, psychophysical systems, don't know that we're acting. It thinks that it's really happening to us.
When you go into that rehearsal room, there are people there who can support you that are just the sweetest people ever.
I just can't get over how brilliant these children are.
Do whatever you can, work hard. Practice makes perfect.
Stage productions like Something Happened in Our Town wouldn't be possible without supporters like you. Help Children's Theater Company unleash the power of curiosity, empathy, and imagination by donating today at WCCO.com/inourtown. Children's Theater Company presents Something Happened in Our Town, the compelling story of two young friends struggling to make sense of our world. Buy tickets for your family today.